OverDose Vapes. Keep your coils tight. Keep your wicks wet.
Hello and welcome back to OverDose Vapes. This is Travis taking a look at a little piece of hardware for you guys. This one was sent out by the good people over at Vapes. They are good friends of the channel and they are just damn good folks. This one is the Aspire. I haven't done any kind of Aspire products. I don't know if we've ever done Aspire products on this channel before, but the last time I even messed with an Aspire product was probably the Atlantis. That's a long ass time ago. So Aspire SkyStar Revvo kit. You know what I'm saying? This is the it comes with the mod. Got the the blue camo variant here. Comes with the Revvo tank, which we'll talk about a little bit. Comes with some other stuff, some doodads, O-rings, coils, tubes, etc., etc. Even comes with a little silicone, little silicone cap and everything. But yeah, let's go close. I'm gonna give you a real quick, rundown of it. I'm not gonna do all the stuff because that's what I'm doing lately. We're not doing super in-depth up close shots. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know up here. I'm just gonna show you the ins and outs, down there. So let's go down there and we'll be right back up here. Here's the mod. I have the camo blue version here. It is very, very nice. It is so well built. It feels good in the hand. It is comfortable to hold. It feels like it's made out of good materials. It has a very, very nice, sleek, clean finish to it. Here's the clock. I have it on analog clock setting here, but you can have a digital clock as well. So let's get it out of the clock setting. So there's your main menu. As you can see, it tells you a lot of information in watts. Tells you your well, it has nothing on it, but it'll tell you your ohm. It'll tell you your amps that you're drawing. Tell you the voltage, and it has an individual battery meter for each battery. The 510 on top has little grooves there for air, I guess, for certain old school tanks. It is a what do you call it? Spring-loaded 510. Yep, spring-loaded 510. So to get into the menu, basically you just flip it. This is a touch screen. There are no buttons except for the fire button, which is kind of hidden right here on top of the bezel of the screen. And the charging port is right here on the front as well, which I love. I love the placement of that charging port. So the fire button is the only button on this whole mod. So how do you get in there to change your wattage and stuff? So you swipe up twice to get to your wattage. And basically that's how you change it, like that, up and down. It's very responsive. Swipe down twice. Sometimes it takes a couple swipes. And this is your main menu to get to all your options and stuff. So as far as like changing to temperature control, bypass, voltage, and wattage modes. Yeah, awesome. And then there is a little, this is an about thing, so you can take a little picture with your cell phone, and you can go to, it'll take you to a website to check out. Aspire SkyStar version 1. All right. So yeah, I have nothing bad to say about this mod. It goes all the way up to 210 watts. Let's go. Let's test it. $210 watts. So it gives you a lot of room to grow with. So if this is your first device, you can use this from your first tank that you get with this Revvo tank that they give you, all the way up to using RDAs. You can be dripping with this thing, using it for tanks, using it for anything that you need. It is an absolute beast, and also very, very classy. I just love it. I cannot say enough how much I enjoy this mod. I think it is. It can be all things for all people. I mean, you could literally buy this device and use it for your entire vaping journey. You could never have to buy something else again, as long as it holds up over time. Right here on the back is where you take out the batteries. It's seamless. You really don't see, where it comes apart. And then there's, I got the batteries in there. It's held in with a nice strong magnet. It's very, very clean inside of there as well. just the case is super clean. This does not look like 3D printed junk. Yeah, it's just so nice, so nice. Got your little logos and stuff there on the bottom. I just cannot say enough. It just has power. It has aesthetic. It is aesthetically pleasing. It has tons of power. It fires down very low. There's just nothing that I dislike about this. It's very responsive. I love the button. I love that the button's on front. It's unusual. It's nice. I love that it's touchscreen and that the touchscreen is not a hassle to use. Sometimes you will have to swipe up or down more than once to get it to go, but I like that it's not overly sensitive, so you're not constantly like having it change in your pocket or anything as well. It's just nice. It's just really nice. It's easy to use, got a ton of power. I love it. So this is the Revvo tank. The coil actually gets, let's zoom in. So the coil actually gets seated up here. Okay. So here is the coil for the Revvo tank. As you can see, it is kind of like a notch coil, and it is a disc on a disc of cotton. That's very interesting. There is the bottom of it. Got the wicking material there in the bottom. It's like a little disc of wicking material, and it is a little disc of coil. Basically, it is a little disc of heating element. I find this really interesting. The airflow is on top, and you actually fill it from the top as well. You just push it down in there. You actually don't take anything apart. You just push down your bottle into that little nozzle right there, and then fill it. I'll show you an example. So to fill it, you literally just take your bottle, push it down. That's it. It's that easy. This is the easiest tank to fill I've ever seen in my life. Now, unfortunately, it's just not, to me, it doesn't have enough flavor in vapor production to really be something I would use over a long period of time. But I do find it extremely interesting the way that it's built and designed. Basically, it has this little reservoir of liquid here, and it feeds up to the coil, which is housed here. And let's see if we can take it apart and show you where the coil is. So this is what it looks like. This is the coil here, and this is very juicy, obviously. But that is where the coil sits, and then the juice reservoir sits underneath of it, and then this whole top cap piece threads over the top of that. Okay, let's get out of here, and I'll give you my opinions. Okay, so yeah, this is a very classy mod. To me, the star of the show is definitely the mod. The tank is cool. It has a very unusual coil design, as you guys saw. It's weird. It's wacky. It's not what you would think it. It's not what you would expect, and it works. And it does work really well. I have no qualms with this tank. The flavor's not. I'll be honest with you guys. Flavor's not superb, but I don't really expect a lot from sub-ohm tanks to begin with. And this does just as good as any other sub-ohm pre-made coil tank I've ever used. So it's not terrible, but the mod is definitely the star of the show. It's got the touch screen, which I think works really well. It's not overly sensitive, and there are times where, like, I'll just to get up, as I show you guys, to get up to change the wattage, you have to swipe it up twice. There is several times that I've had to like swipe up several times before I get any kind of reaction. But once you get in the menus, it's quite responsive. I think that they just make it a little bit less sensitive to get into the menu, so that you're not constantly opening the menu, like if it's in your pocket or you just holding it. I really enjoy the aesthetics of this. It feels good in the hand. I love the button placement on the front. I think that's a very underutilized button placement. I love that the button itself is sunken into and kind of blends into the screen. I love that it's clicky. The mod is just amazing. It just is a really, really great mod. It screams high value to me. For what you're paying for it, I think that you're getting such a great value for this device. I've already recommended this to people as a starter kit. And like when we first got it, when me and Panda first got it here at the house, she's the one who picked it. When we first got it at the house and we first kind of started playing with it, I said, this is 100% what I will be recommending to anybody asking what they should get for a starter kit. And even if you're not a starter, even if you're just looking for a regulated mod to mess around with, this is what I recommend. I think it is such a well done mod. It does, let me see. It does, I forgot right off the top of my head, 210 watts. So it gives you all the power you're going to need. It does all the things that you would imagine. It has a normal mode, a hard mode. It just it has all the functionality you've come to expect from your latest and greatest regulated devices. The menu screen is chock full of information. Each battery has its own indicator. It tells you how much. It tells you your ohms on your coils. It tells you how many amps you're drawing from your batteries. It tells you how many volts you're pulling from your batteries. The menu system itself has all kinds of data, and it has just everything you can imagine. It has a temperature control mode that functions great. It just works, and it works well, and it works well while being aesthetically pleasing, and just nice. Like when you bust this out, people like what they see. When you bust this out, people want to know what it is. People can respect this. It doesn't look like a child's toy. It doesn't look like a scumbag vape. Like when I'm walking around with my stack mods and shit, like people are looking at me like, oh god, here comes one of those guys. But when you pull this out, it has a little bit more style, a little bit more class, and I can respect that. I still love my stack mods, don't get me wrong. I am that guy. But if you don't want to be that guy, I think this is a great option for you. The way that the batteries go in from the back is nice. They're very easily accessible. The magnets are strong in the back. It's seamless. It's really, really hard to tell which, where the seams are on it to get the batteries out. I just can't say enough nice things about this. Everything. So I've used it with the tank that it comes with, which we'll touch on a little bit. But I've also used it with a wealth of other devices. I actually prefer this for drippers. I've used it with everything from old school things like the Patriot to new school things like the Dead Rabbit, and it just functions. I've never had any problems. It's got a spring-loaded 510 pin. It just works. It works well. And yeah, comes in a variety of colors. The only one that they had was this blue camo one, so that's the one we got. But that's not the one we would have chosen. There are, Panda wanted one of the other ones, but this is the only one that they had in stock. But even this blue camo one, which I think is the least appealing one of all of the color variants available, I still think it looks nice. And yeah, when you let it sit for a second, it even has a clock. That is pure class. And you can change the clock from analog to where it's like a real clock face to digital. And god damn it, I just love it. So people were asking, Scott from the group was asking for recommendations for a regulated mod. I right away I said to grab this. He got it himself and he really enjoys it too. So what makes the tank special? The tank has a very unique coil design, which is like these little flat discs where the coil is kind of looped around inside this disc, and the coil actually goes up top, near where the airflow is. So it doesn't rely on gravity to feed the coil, which is a little unusual to me. Usually you would think the coil being at the bottom and where the juice can kind of just soak down onto there. This does not work that way, and yet I've still never gotten a dry hit with this design. So it's doing its thing really well. It's just not enough vapor production for me. Especially, even with sub-ohm tanks nowadays, I expect to be able to put it up to like 150 watts and really, really blast some fat clouds. Because if you're not going to get, if you're going to sacrifice flavor when you're using a sub-ohm tank, at the very least, what I expect is to have some massive cloud production. And this just doesn't do that. I think it's good for somebody who's just starting, but I think if you're a vet, and I think that if you've been around for a while, and you kind of already have devices available to you, I think pretty quickly you'll abandon this tank in favor of something else. And yeah, the mod itself is definitely worth getting. The tank I could take or leave, but that is the nature of the industry. So there's the clock. Boom, bam. All right, so as far as scoring it for the mod, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think it does everything right. It does everything right. I have literally nothing bad to say about the mod, except for that it's a regulated mod. It has it suffers from all the same things that most regulated mods do. It has a slight delay from the time that you hit the button to the time you're vaping. Not like a crazy big delay it's producing the vapor, but it's not noticeable except for the people like me. I think for your average vapor, you're not going to notice any difference. It's not going to be a deal killer. I think that this mod is extraordinarily good. Okay, as far as the tank, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It functions. It just doesn't function as well as I would need it to for me to use it on a daily basis. I think it's okay. It's just nothing special. All right. As a very interesting coil design, but it's not like that coil design makes it increasing flavor production, and it's not like it increases vapor production. So while it is cool, it's just not anything special. So all right, so I really want to thank Viprosity for sending this out. We'll leave a link below so you guys can find one for yourself, and I really want to thank Aspire for trying something new and trying something classy. Really going classy with it, which I think is really, really, we need more of that in the industry. We need less things that look like toys, and we need more things that look like an adult's vape accessory, and that's what this is. So, all right, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you next time, and until then, please keep your coils tight. We'll see you then. Peace out.